Now, let's talk about the big news coming in from the banking sector. The State Bank of India has decided to link the pricing of its savings deposits and short-term loans to an external benchmark with effect from May 1. In a conversation with Lata Venkatesh and Shireen Phan, SBI Chairman Rajneesh Kumar said that this move will aid the bank as market fluctuations will not hit profit margins. Also points out that the banks have failed to maintain flexibility with respect to liabilities. Listen in.
There is no preemption as far as RBI guidelines on external benchmark are concerned. Reserve Bank of India, the existing guideline itself provides that we can link loans to MCLR or we can link loans to external benchmark. Even now that provision is there. So we are completely, whatever decision we have taken, it has been taken in accordance with the existing guidelines of Reserve Bank of India. About the transmission, there has been an issue and banks have always maintained that on liability side, we don't have enough room or flexibility because all our liability structure is very rigid. So that is where unless we transmit rates on the liability side, we cannot transmit rates on the asset side. That has been the position of the banks. And that is where after a lot of deliberations and internal discussions in our ELCO, then we thought that this was the only way where we can meet the requirement which Reserve Bank of India have expressed from time to time that transmission should happen. And that is where it is,
Mr. Kumar, what percentage of your savings deposits are above 1 lakh and what percentage of your total deposits are above 1 lakh savings deposits?
So, you can't ask me to disclose all my asset liability number. What I will qualify my comment is that with this move, the products which will be linked on the asset side and the balances above 1 lakh on the savings bank side, there will be a very big match between the what we call asset liability match or mismatch. So basically what we have done is that we have created flexibility on the liability side to respond to the changes in repo rate, and accordingly and as a result of that, we change the lending rate on the asset side, and any good ALM practice would mean where the bank's net interest income or NIM remain protected irrespective of whatever is the movement in the market. That is the whole purpose of ALM. So our ALM now is much more balanced and relatively better aligned, and the market fluctuations would not impact banks' interest margin.
So any time in the near future, are you going to extend this to term deposits, fixed deposits?
Fixed deposits we tried earlier, it did not work. So there was no demand for the variable rate linked fixed deposits. We had a product, but the response was very poor.
But with this linking, at the moment your margins will improve, no? Because you have a very good spread, 3.5% cost of money, and lending rate is 8.5%. That's a solid spread, isn't it?
No. But it is not like that. Again, there is a misunderstanding. Our average cost of funds or cost of borrowing on which MCLR is determined is 6.02%. That is an average. So automatically when one part or one component of savings bank which becomes linked to repo rate, so this average rate or average cost will move whenever there is a change in the repo rate. And accordingly, the average yield on advances will also move. So it should not be linked. Now, if you link it, you say that your current account is 0 and you are charging 8.5%, then my spread is 8.5%. And if I am paying on the term deposit 7%, then my spread is 1.5%.
Right.
So this is not the way to look at it.
All right, that's the word coming in from Rajneesh Kumar. In fact, Morgan Stanley has also written on SBI and the move taken by the bank. They say that linking interest rate on saving deposits and short-term loans to repo rate is a big move taken by the bank. The margin volatility will improve going forward. It will reduce over time. They also say the key to monitor will be the impact on deposit growth and the strategy of peer banks. So that is something that they'll be watching out for. But let's move on. The 583-day wait is over. After multiple challenges and parallel litigations, the National Company Law Tribunal has approved ArcelorMittal's bid for dead-written Essar Steel. Remember, the lenders had finalized ArcelorMittal as the winning bidder despite opposition from the Ruyas, the promoter of Essar Steel. Ritu Singh joins us now. Ritu, finally, ArcelorMittal prevails.
Well, it's been a very long and bumpy road for ArcelorMittal to finally be able to foray into India, with the NCLT finally approving the resolution plan that ArcelorMittal had submitted to acquire Essar Steel under the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. Now, the offer that has been made by ArcelorMittal is about 42,000 crore rupees as upfront payment to all the creditors of Essar Steel, which includes about 2,500 crore rupees retained cash on the books of Essar Steel. But this order does come with a caveat, which is NCLT has asked the lenders to reconsider how they distribute this corpus of 42,000 crore rupees amongst all the lenders, operational and financial included, where they've suggested that the financial creditors give at least 15% of that total corpus to the operational creditors. Obviously, coming in after the operational creditors mounted their defense in various courts seeking to be paid at par with the financial creditors. Now, this order has already been challenged by both Essar Steel and the operational creditors that have asked for a stay on the order until they are able to prepare their appeal. Now, statements have been coming in from both the parties. Essar Steel, for instance, told us that it still continues to believe that its offer of 54,000 crore rupees is the most competitive one, and it is also confident of the legal validity of the offer that it has made, and therefore it will continue to explore the option and take the next steps after it examines the order. ArcelorMittal has welcomed the NCLT order today. It has further said that it will be studying the order in greater detail and is hopeful of concluding this transaction very soon. But this NCLT verdict is hardly the end of the story. We do understand that the promoters will first, certainly be looking to move a higher court, whether that is NCLAT and after that Supreme Court. But, the final word will have to be said in New Delhi.
Absolutely, Ritu, you said it. After 583 days, it's still not the end yet, as one of the parties will appeal to the higher courts, and thereafter there may be another appeal as well. Meanwhile, just take a look at the Asian markets. We're seeing a bit of recovery come by for the Nikkei, and that's primarily on account of the opening of Shanghai and Hang Seng, both of them higher by about 0.2 to about 0.4% respectively. The SGX Nifty also indicating a cut of about 10 to 15 points, which is mildly lower than what it was at the start. So the Asian markets stable as they opened, and some recovery seen as Shanghai and Hang Seng have opened. With that, let's move on to some international news and some tragic news coming over the weekend. A Nairobi-bound Ethiopian Airlines flight crashed shortly after taking off from the Ethiopian capital Addis Ababa on Sunday. The aircraft, which was a Boeing 737 MAX, lost contact with the ATC 6 minutes after taking off. In a statement, the Ethiopian Airlines confirmed that all people on board the flight were killed. Passengers from over 30 nationalities, including 4 Indians, were on that flight.